All right, all right, all right. Good morning. Woo. It is Monday. Monday at 10:02 a.m. I'll tell you what. Today is just one of them days where you just like, ugh, Monday. you know, and it's an unfortunate thing to feel that way. Honestly, it is. And I apologize that I feel that way. Uh, just Mondays are just one of them days that you just, it's the weekday. So to feel that way is right, but at the same time, it's like, oh, why? Why? Your life should be a fulfilling life. Uh, and I've always thought that way, but I still also at the same time see Mondays as like, ugh, what the heck am I doing? So it's very crazy. Very, very crazy. But what can you do? So, gonna get this done here quick. All right. But yeah, so it is Monday, 10:04 now a.m. It is going to be a beautiful day from what I've seen. Uh, right now it is 74 degrees apparently. Let me double check that because that was at 9:14 a.m. So as of 10:04, it is 77 degrees out. I'd have to agree. It's definitely decent out. It's nothing insane. It's nothing crazy. Um, but definitely a beautiful day. Hopefully, no more rain and storms and stuff like that because it's a crazy thing to have to go through these storms and that are constant every day, and rain. But yeah, oh man. But yeah. So let's before I get into the random talks, let's get into before we get into random talks, let's go start with I've always admired wolves and that and the history that goes far back into dire wolves. Uh and here's the thing, wolves still exist to this day. Very few that we know of. There is three that are original dire wolves that are out and about that I know of in the state of not Pennsylvania, in the United States. Sorry, I apologize. In the United States, there's three known sightings of dire wolves. So is it possible there could be more? Yes. Now, dire wolves are solitary. They've never been known to be in packs. So they're, wolves that, just go on their own and are alone and exist that way. Now, I do believe they may come together when it's time to breed, or they might have a mate, as far as I know, that they might travel with. We don't know too much about them uh, because no one's really been able to uh, follow them and learn from them. And that dire wolves are very, very aggressive animals, very, very territorial. Um, and even at a far distance. And then their smell, you could tell from those three sightings, they were really aggressive, and even though the person was far away, uh, showed signs of very, very aggressiveness. And now China does have some that they have created hybrids with the gray wolf and supposedly dire wolf DNA. But wolves have always fascinated me because they're definitely can be sweet creatures. I know wild ones now. If you would find supposedly a abandoned pup, then yeah, and you would take it in and raise it. Yes, it can be very sweet and cuddly, all depending on how you raise it. Really good, and bring it up. So I definitely understand now. I do have a friend. She has some wolves and that she found that were abandoned. Took them in, raised them up, and from what she said, they're very very cuddly, more than even dogs, and I think that's awesome. I definitely have a lot of respect for her because she raised four wolves in that and loves them to death. So it's something I would love. I would love that. The closest one I had to a wolf would have been Misty, and oh, that dog and me. She was half husky, half wolf. Uh, Definitely amazing, amazing dog. Just loved it. Uh, she would protect me. Was always around me. She always somehow figured out how to get out the house and be at that bus stop when she knew when I would come. I would come home. So it definitely gave me a whole new perspective because none of the other dogs I ever had was like that. Now, except Beanbo. Beanbo would sit. He was a pit bull, but he would sit at the door. He knew exactly when I was going to come home from when I was working, and that dog would be sitting there waiting. Or if I went out and I was grocery shopping or whatever, every time I came home, I could see on the camera he was already at that door waiting. And then as soon as I came home, he would be all over me, excited. So it's just a beautiful thing. Uh, but dire wolves, like I said, very very rare creatures. Very the existence of them is the truth. Now there's a lot of sightings that is believed to be something else, but just from the description and everything, I would have to say they are dire wolves. Just the way that they describe, just seeing the eyes and that and the height, it all matches up to the dire wolves, and also the description of certain things that happen, the paw marks too that are massive. Definitely, definitely, something that I would like to investigate and look into. So, uh, I definitely am maybe going to be doing something like that eventually, which I would like to stream that. I would like to do that as well as I do on here. Uh, the interaction and the studies that I would like to do with dire wolves, um, and some of the sightings, and that I would like to get those confirmed that those are 100% dire wolves, and be able to get that documentation. And then there's no one that's ever really documented them, maybe for reasons, trying to keep it from the public, that they still exist, like everything else that they try to do. Hey, Ireland, thank you. Morning, morning, sis. Appreciate you coming in. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. But yeah, I am going to eventually, when I get back on my feet, I do want to go into studying dire wolves. Like I said, three 100% known sightings, and also uh, ones that are describing dire wolves. Yeah, I know. That's crazy. You actually made it in, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. That makes my day. It does. It really does. I wish more guys would, jump in here, but I know they're busy and working in that. So, and it is a Monday, so it's difficult. I guess I need to do some more streams on the weekends, but yeah, we were just talking about dire wolves and that, and basically what is known and not known about them, sis, and that I'm probably looking into when I get back on my feet, doing that. I know National Geographic and Discovery and all that, they have not done anything with dire wolves. So I was thinking, well, there's my calling, maybe going in and seeing about them. A dire wolf is an ancient prehistoric wolf that existed. They are the size of a grizzly bear, sometimes known to even be a little bit bigger. But there is 100% known sightings that to this day, that are videoed, um, and they're old prehistoric wolves from back then, and they're massive. And nothing's really known about them other than that they did exist back then. Uh, but it's known also that there is some. Now there is in China apparently, hybrids, but I'm not interested in the hybrids. I'm interested in the full blown dire wolf, uh, and the existence of them, and how is it that they're still existing today. As my previous stream says, if you would get a chance ever to go back, I talked about some Bigfoot, uh, that there's proof. A guy, Snake, he goes by Snake, the Bigfoot hunter or something. Um, he came on the news and actually said about him having, and he actually officially does have a what you call Bigfoot. But DNA, they finally got DNA, and it's 58% Neanderthal DNA, 41% human DNA. Ain't that crazy? That is insane. So I was right, and Drunk was right about being Neanderthal, and that makes me so happy to officially have something released with official DNA that proves that caveman still exists. So it's definitely a wonderful thing, for something to come out that I've been talking about. Yeah, it is cool, man. I'm just glad because I'm coming out. I'm gonna start coming out. I just came out about mermaids a bit. I'm gonna keep doing little here and here for when I was in the military and was involved in a few. Um, and I figured it's just time to come out. They haven't come after me yet. They haven't threatened me or nothing. So I'm thinking that pretty soon everything's going to come out here soon. It's just going to be a slow process. With that, we got UFOs and extraterrestrials, and then also, now we got Bigfoot. So pretty sure the mermaids is going to come out. And if you remember, sis, if you're a history buff like I am, throughout ancient times, mermaids have been brought up. Sirens have been brought up. So, oh well, it's all true, sis. I mean, I've seen things in my time in the military. 20 years in the military, I wasn't just used for fighting in that. Ah, you always slept through history class. Oh man. I understand because we've been lied to. So history class was not, that I'm talking about not outside of school. Outside of school because school only teach you the basic of history. So, oh yeah, it's very interesting, and it's a lot of it turns out to be true. So, I mean, things that we are told that's mythology has been proven that it's not. Things that we've been told that it's folklore turned out it's not folklore. Because the more I've done studying in that, and I'm big on this stuff. So yeah. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, that could be true. There is documentary about mermaids, and sirens. Yeah. It could be two different creatures. I'm not sure. I know the ones that we've been involved with in the military, they were mermaids. There is now a video of the largest mermaid that is known, and now she's been known to the military for a long time. Uh, that one's been kept away. I don't know if you ever seen it. So I've always believed we can't be the only planet with life on it. So I get it. Yes, indeed. So mermaids are basically your other sort of extraterrestrial. Uh, that's why I believe they are next to come out. If they're coming out with UFOs and extraterrestrials, that's your next extraterrestrial. I believe a lot of these are extraterrestrials, and a lot of them are going to come out. Now, the one mermaid I was referring to, she has, weirdly, oddly enough, she has octopus tentacles, and she's massive. We're talking about maybe 15 foot, maybe 20 foot. I'm not too sure. That's from the aerial view. But she is massive. So the military has been dealing with her, and that's why a lot of stuff. I mean, you got to understand, they call it testings with the Navy and that when they drop bombs in the water and stuff like that. It is not testing. There's a reason for it. So everything has a reason. The mermaids were like evil and like 2 feet tall. Sirens are what we see as a mermaid. Yeah. 2 feet. Yeah, there's different sizes of mermaids actually. There is one that we've seen that, like you said, Phantom, that was definitely 2 feet tall. But there is ones that are 8 foot. There's one that I know of that was what I think she was like 5'8". And now we only had to deal with two males, but they were caught in fish nets. Um, those two males were a difficulty, uh, including silencing the sailors that caught her, the fishermen that caught them guys. It was a real difficult. They wanted money, which of course the government paid, but also a basic civilian NDA to keep them quiet. Um, but the other three that we know were female. So, and those ones were actually worse. I saw it years ago and like 10 years ago at 4 a.m., so I didn't bat too much attention. Okay. So you actually witnessed. So that is awesome. Is that what you're saying, Phantom, that you actually witnessed? Because I like that. If you actually witnessed that, that would be perfect. Oh, the documentary. Okay, yeah. Um, yep, she was talking about the documentary. Okay. Phantom, if you could ever find if that documentary's still around, um, if you could bring it, well, eventually, Drunk, when he gets his chance to get out here, we're gonna fix this system up where I can show you things. There is documentary. Well, I wouldn't say it's documentary. Declassified files that prove about mermaids, plus also sailor, fishermen, and sailor accounts of it. I want to be able to pull up here so that way we can show everything. And there's tons. That's the thing. Now, I know since you, Phantom, really are into the history, it seems, and knowledge and that, like I am, you know that from ancient times, way back, there has been talk about mermaids and sirens through pirates, Danes, Vikings, and so forth. So, for something like that to constantly be brought up, we knew, the military and the United States government knew that it was true. So, this is why they created the folklore and mythology ideal to keep it quiet. But how can you keep something quiet when you have how many people out on the water? Honestly. Not really. Only if the topic seems interesting, then yeah, but not everything. Well, we're talking about mermaids. So mermaids, I mean, you got to understand throughout time. Like I said, Vikings, pirates, even some Romans, Danes, all that. These people that traveled along the waters, fish, and everything else, they constantly talk about mermaids and sirens. So the government knew something was up to that now years ago. We were brought up into it. A lot of us that joined the military and were used for certain specific things. Those were told to us, and we were filled in. It's been going on for a long period of time, so that freaking amazed me hearing it from them to admit something like that to us. For so many different types of people to witness these creatures and describe them all the same way is a little. Exactly. Thank you, Ireland. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. If it's like Bigfoot and aliens, not, I'll pass. But mermaids, I'm not uninterested. Oh yeah, well, then you might want to check out about my last stream about Bigfoot, because Bigfoot, the term is used as Bigfoot. It is caveman. Now I just got proof of that. It was on the news with this guy, and guess what? They did DNA test finally, as I was just bringing it up. All right, appreciate it, Alan. Take it easy. Have a great day too. All right, appreciate that. Phantom, they just brought up. They did DNA test on this Bigfoot, and it was 50. I think it was 51 or 58% Neanderthal. I would have to look again, but it was Neanderthal DNA, and 41%. I know I have that one right. 41% human DNA. That blows my mind. And he actually has the creature, not frozen or anything. 100% real. Even the government confirmed it's real. But yeah, the guy has the face of a human. Now he's covered in hair. That one kind of shocked me with the cover in hair. I thought maybe, possibly, he would have something that was fur that covered his whole body and that. But no, shockingly, it is actually his hair, which shouldn't surprise me. I mean, you got to remember back then, in certain areas, they had to grow something to keep them warm in that. Yep. Yep. Which would prove that theory, because this one was 8 foot tall. Now they said that they found it. It's been laying there for 2 days, where it got killed. So now I'm thinking, and they said it was beaten to death. So now you got to think. So if something was beaten to death that's 8 foot tall, and then you saying that you found footprints also nearby that weren't his, it was bigger. Um, so if this thing's 8 foot tall, what beat him to death and killed him was probably bigger. What about 12 foot tall? Maybe even bigger. I mean, that's concerning. Am I not right? That is concerning that something would beat its own kind to death. Now they said it was probably due to mating, maybe, or territorial, but still, at the end of the day, you have how many witnesses that have witnessed these things and have been chased and rocks thrown at them and so forth. So it's concerning. There is in Russia the possibility that these group of people that went on exploring possibly got killed and covered up. Russia covered it up, and nobody's allowed in that area. So it's very concerning to me that we've only go after them when there's an attack. The military really don't bother with them, which is shocking. There is 2 incidents that I know of when I was in the military. I didn't get to see them. They were just covered in tarps, and we went in and had them removed. And what we did, me and my team, we just surrounded the area to keep people from coming in. He does have it on exhibit. I do not. I gotta look to see where though. I don't know where exactly that is. Let me see if I can pull it up and see if it says where. Usually it does say.
All right, so
Hold up.
what's
Apologize about that.
new evidence?
I'm trying to get that. Okay. Okay, so if you listen here, I brought it up. Wait, come on. Come on. Hang on a minute.
That you're seeing right there on your screen, that is 8 foot long.
Bigfoot hunter, and he joins us now. To have found a decomposing Bigfoot in the Adirondack Mountains.
Yeah, we have that body that you're seeing right there on your screen, that is 8 foot long, 300 pounds, found just west of Old Forge, Central Adirondack Park. The reason we actually have this body, I believe, and I have been able to show it, is that we did not disclose this until we were able to get in front of a lot of people. We were afraid that that body would disappear, or that I would disappear, to be honest with you. Once it was out there publicly, I was able to get the Japanese documentary and film this. I was able to get verification from the Six Nation Indian Tribes of New York, and we had that full DNA report backing this up.
It looks like something we haven't seen. But obviously, there's a ton of skeptics out there.
Those people are idiots. A lot of them are flapping their lips from behind a computer screen. They never actually go into the woods or been face to face with anything resembling that. So I understand.
I don't think it's a scare tactic. Pretty much is what I'm saying is a lot of things are going to come out there. Because you would think that with aliens, I mean, and UFOs. I would really thought that would be more of a scare tactic for control. But you got to remember, this is decades and decades and decades of witnesses and everything that's compiled. They have documents on it, and the government is what's actually scared because you can't keep up with these things. Now, do I believe a government has some of their own? Yeah, I believe that 100%. I've heard a lot of things about those, and that's coming from people that used to work at Area 51. Bob Lazar being one of them. Very well trusted man, and I don't believe he would make something up in such, especially to lose his job. I don't believe he would make some up. But as for Bigfoot, that's the same thing. I mean, there's decades and decades of witnesses. These even go back to the Western times back then, with even cowboys and that. There is documentation of these such creatures. Even Native Americans talk about what was Bigfoot, what we call Bigfoot. And if you really got to believe it, not everything would have been destroyed. They would have went into a cave. They would have somehow, made it, some of them. I don't believe there's as many as what there used to be. But I do believe there was a way for them to get shelter and probably make it. And like I said, tons of witnesses. It's insane. It's about the same amount as UFOs and that, except it goes farther back that we know of. Now, is it possible that UFOs and that would have been here even farther than what we're being told? Yes. It just wasn't documented or really paid attention to. Maybe, I don't know. It is concerning even then. I think everything is concerning because we've been lied to, and now a lot of us ain't seeing, okay, you lied to us, we got proof now you're coming out, but you're not admitting to you lied to us because you knew it existed, you kept it covered and kept it hidden. What if something would have happened? What if, say there would have been an invasion this whole time you knew about it? I mean, that's concerning, right? Well, that's the same thing with everything else. Now, there is documentation of mermaids. There is witnesses of mermaids. Now, that'll be the next thing to come out. I just believe over in time, everything's going to officially 100% proven. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. Aliens and UFOs, though, I do. I was a non-believer on that too until a lot of things happened in the military and that, and a lot of other people that I knew talked about it and showed a lot of proof. So a lot of that blew my mind. And then seeing stuff that just didn't make sense and didn't add up. It was something that I really was strong on that I didn't believe. Interested, yeah, to hear about some stuff when I was younger and that, but I would have believed the mermaids and, like you said, Bigfoot, a lot more than UFOs and aliens, just because of the technology and stuff like that. That I didn't believe would be existing. But then again, you got to remember that's even going back even to Egyptian times. That there's description. There's even back farther the Native Americans over here, and many more. And then you see a lot of paintings that are really, 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 really old that have depictions of UFOs or something that resembled a UFO. And it kind of made you wonder, how did it make it in that picture, and so on and so forth. Or were they in contact as well? And the government is just keeping that away. Who knows? Until I get into the more of the classifieds that are being, declassified and being released, there's no knowing. Those things I don't know about, not yet. But you can guarantee that I'll be on top of that as soon as I keep an eye every day on these declassified files. And like I said, I do have sources that do have knowledge, and I'm hoping to build my, subscription here so that way they will be willing to come on, and that's what I'm excited about. I think that's why I get annoyed kind of that it's a slow process, but then again, I got to understand things are slow. But I try to keep telling people, listen, I got a lot of, sources that want to come and talk, but they're not going to put their lives in danger for a measly 11 subscribers and then not get out there where then their safety was, put at risk for nothing. So I kind of understand that. Now, some things I'm willing to come out with, and respectfully, it's because I'm just tired of waiting too. So it's just been difficult to keep, things talked about and just waiting in that. And I know people are wanting to know, like, hey, give us something. So I have mermaids. And that's one thing I will stick to, blow the whistle about for now. Until I can build more, then I'll go out and speak more. Like I said, I'll whistle blow about everything once I have more people. Because you got to remember, I have a family, and I really don't want to put my family at risk for nothing. I have a son. So I do have 2 other sons and other children. So I really don't want to put them in a situation if I'm going to be coming out. And so is my sources. My sources don't want to do that as well. My sources don't want to put them and their families at risk. And yeah. Thank you, Drunk. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you. And thank you for coming in. But like I said, a lot of things are coming out. Like I said, now Bigfoot. Oh, Drunk, did you hear about that? I don't know if you were there for that information. They finally have DNA on a Bigfoot. And guess what? Oh, you didn't hear about it? Oh, this is perfect. I will bring it up then. So there is a Bigfoot that was found. If you want to check my next stream, or you want me to send it to you on Messenger, I can do that. They found a Bigfoot, did DNA test, and I think it's 51 or 58% Neanderthal DNA and 41% human DNA. So that is a big what time? I will be, let's see here, probably 1 o'clock. So yeah, everybody. So if you guys coming in and don't know my posted schedule, I will tell you now. So normally I do between 9 and 10 in the morning, 1 and 2 in the afternoon, and then 6 and 7 in the evening. All right, brother. All right. I appreciate that. Definitely be looking forward to that because I'm going to get more in depth in that as well. And then 6 and 7, I'll be getting in depth about my whistleblowing on mermaids again. Like I said, I'm doing piece by piece, so I don't overdo it with you guys because I don't want to overfill you with everything that I'm whistleblowing about, and also discussing that's coming out. So there is more that's going to be coming out. Yes. I know a lot of you are probably wanting to know that there is more that are coming out. Junk has mentioned about the ocean floor. Now, I do believe there's one thing, though, that they're going to block out a lot of the UFO bases and such like that. Also, be prepared. I'll be talking about megalodons that are still existing in the waters to this day. And it's definitely a matter of fact there. I've had a lot of talks with Navy.
How did you find?
Well, hold on a minute. Let me.
Bluetooth disconnected.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. But I'll be talking about megalodons, dinosaurs that still exist that remain. Now that was scrubbed right away, so that's how I know that that's official. Now I've had people that have come to me and talked about it, sources and that. But I still questioned that until the news one day came out and basically said about, Japan finding an island that had 2 islands. I think it was 2 or 3 islands that had dinosaurs on it. Well, right away that was scrubbed. So then I knew, I was like, oh, well, I better get in contact with these sources again because, they weren't my normal people that I knew. And so it was kind of like, do I believe this? And then that came out and then was scrubbed. Now, I kind of question it too, but then once it was scrubbed completely from the internet, I was like, oh, dang, there has to be some truth to it because they would not scrub it unless there's truth to it. So I did get in contact with them, got some more information. So that I'll be sharing somewhat of. I won't go full detail, but it'll definitely get your interest. And definitely want you, hopefully, to get it out there. So I definitely ask you all to share, because, like I said, my sources are going to come out with everything, and that's one of the things that's included. Because we're talking about more about UFOs and extraterrestrials. We're talking about mermaids. We're talking about more about Neanderthals that still sticks to what you guys call Bigfoot, are still existent, and many more. We're going to be also talking about folklore things that we've been told is folklore, end up actually being real back in those times. Even mythology. These things are what we're going to talk about that are 100% real and what's not real. And you're probably not going to believe it, but the people that I have as sources do have everything. They have documents. They have pictures, official pictures that you can definitely tell that are not AI. And they have also recordings. Now, I do know a few of them also have video. They actually have video. And that's why, like I said, when Drunk is the ability to help me figure out why OBS is not working on here. Once we can get that figured out, we'll be able to show everything as long, once we reach all the subscribers we need for them to be convinced to come on and talk. So appreciate y'all. Like I said, I'm not going to be on here much longer because I don't want to overwhelm you guys with everything. Like I said, the Drunk, I will be back on here between 1 and 2 in the afternoon to get in more depth again about Bigfoot and mermaids. And then tonight we'll get into depth about some more everything else. All right. Appreciate you, Drunk, and I appreciate Phantom, and I appreciate Ireland for getting in here. Thank you, guys. I really am grateful for you. Definitely need more of that because it makes me motivated to keep talking. All right, guys. You guys have a great and beautiful day. See you between 1 and 2 in the afternoon. God bless.